Hello everyone, Nealon here, and welcome back to AI World War. Last time we established the teams, and this time it is day 1, and the AIs get to do their first moves. Each day, they get to do 3 things. They can do a couple things. They can attack opponents, move troops, unite countries, they control, incite rebellions, or gain independence to areas in their countries, and I let the AIs ask me questions on other things they can do if necessary. So, let's get into it. Because ChatGPT run the rock, paper, scissors in the beginning, I will start with their first action, but we will alternate. So, their first action is moving and fortifying, deploy a joint task force to the Panama Canal. So, there will be a D20 to decide how well each of their actions goes. So, let's see how ChatGPT does with their first. An 18. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. So, right here is where the Panama Canal is. And, they'll be doing, a bunch of stuff around this area, and it will go very well for them here. So, they're just going to block up the Panama Canal and stuff. Then we go to Claude, whose first action, they decide to unite countries on day 1. They would like to make a Eurasian Federation between Russia, Kazakhstan, and Belarus. Let's see if that goes well for them. It's a 10, which I'll say is good enough here. So, I'm going to keep the capital in Moscow because I feel like that's what makes the most sense here. So, we can remove the border between these countries, and they will now be united as one Eurasian Federation. It rhymes, too. And then we can erase the border between Russia and Belarus. So, both of them have their first actions go well for them. Now we will go back to ChatGPT. Their second action is naval interdiction patrols, establish continuous patrols in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific shipping lanes. So they position carriers, escorts, and submarines and ASW assets to patrol routes from Venezuela and Colombia towards the Panama approaches and the Eastern Pacific. Implement convoy escorts for purple-flagged merchant traffic and heightened inspections for ships tied to Claude allies. So, shipping lanes from around the Panama Canal to the Caribbean. So, it'll be like that, and, also to the Bahamas and, Florida. I feel like they would probably want to fortify oh wait, I forgot to do the D20. Right. So how well do they do? 9. Okay. So I'd say that means only around a half of their stuff works out for them. I would assume that they would want to put the most effort into getting around here to the U.S. and the Bahamas, and that goes well. And they're also able to get routes to Haiti and Puerto Rico, but they aren't able to go any farther than that. I'm going to say that they can also connect routes to Belize and Honduras, but they aren't able to get to the Lesser Antilles. And then to the Eastern Pacific shipping lanes, they also said from around here, so well, we're probably going to be wrapping around the globe here. And they're able to get through to some of these areas around here. Wait. So they're able to get to Australia, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, and also the Solomon Islands and New Caledonia. But they aren't able to get to some of the smaller things. Actually, honestly, that's a bit generous for a 9. So they aren't able to get to New Caledonia. So, it still goes mostly okay for them. I'd say probably, but not perfect. So now we go back to Claude, who chooses to launch an attack on Egypt. Okay, for how this will work, if they capture the capital, then we will roll to decide whether the country surrenders, joins their side, or continues, and then we'll do that again after the whole country's captured. And if after that the country still won't surrender, then if they attack them again, then that will be re-rolled. So they say that they want to use their combined forces from Sudan, Libya, and Algeria. So, yeah. Let's see how good they do. An 8. So, not amazing. They move some Algerian forces towards Libya, but they encounter some troubles and can't get there in time. And Sudanese forces come from the capital and start going into some of southern Egypt, as well as a couple of Libyan forces reaching western Egypt, but not a lot of progress is made on the Egyptian front for Claude. Then we go into ChatGPT, who decides that they want to incite rebellion for a political uprising in Venezuela. So we go back over to this area, because clearly this is all ChatGPT cares about. So, all right. So, let's see. Let me see. Okay. Let's roll the d20 to see how well they do. A 4! This is just going great for them. So, with their help around Guyana, they're able to incite a bit of rebellion around this area, but that's about it. Maybe a little bit around here in Colombia. Actually, no, I feel like I'm being too generous. That's a 4 for crying out loud. So, they're able to incite a tiny little bit of rebellious force there, but that's about it. I feel like that's the most realistic thing. Now we move to Claude's last action for day 3, in which they would like to move troops from China to Indonesia to reinforce the Strait of Malacca. Okay. So the Strait of Malacca is right here, as we all know. Let's see how well they can do. A 14, so not too shabby. So they're able to move some forces here and start reinforcing the Strait of Malacca. So that's about it for day 1. We didn't see too much happen, honestly. ChatGPT is working over mostly the Americas so far, with reinforcing around the Panama Canal and moving and trade routes to the Caribbean and the Pacific, as well as inciting a bit of rebellion inside of Venezuela, while Claude decided to unite Belarus, Russia, and Kazakhstan, which is probably the biggest thing that happened here. Attempted to attack Egypt, which didn't go amazingly for them, and reinforced the Strait of Malacca. So that's it for day 1. Tune in next time to see if anything will happen. We'll see, but I'm Milan. These AIs are idiots, and that's it for this episode. Bye!